Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave with this is just really, really exciting. I am with Alison and Nate. Hello guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming, and we've got a lot to go over in this video, but you guys manufacture a thing which has now become a really important tool in my shop, and it is this beautiful dress form made from my body. You made this, and it is of me, and I know it's like not super, yeah, it's real, it's me.
Yes.
But tell me about your guys' company, tell me about what you're making, why you're making these incredible things.
Well, our company's name is Beatrice Forms, and what we do is we make custom body double mannequins from iPhone body scans.
That's right, so you guys sent me some clothing to wear.
Yes.
And walked me through some instructions while Norm did phone scanning of me on video, and you guys have built software to extract the photogrammetry data from that scan.
That's right. That's right.
And what I end up with is exactly my body type to costume off of.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly the whole idea, because as you know, it's really hard to create something and then get the fit, because the fit actually is part of the style, right?
Absolutely, super critical. And they, like, forever I've been using this adjustable dress form, which is very, very lightweight
Yeah.
and full of all these movable panels. And it's fine for a shirt, but all cosplay is heavy. And I put like my Mandalorian costume on it and the whole thing starts to buckle. Like, will you talk me through how this is? Walk me through the difference between your cheapo dress form and why a real dress form accommodates so much more craft.
Well, the thing is when you're creating a garment or a piece of cosplay, you definitely need it to be scaled properly. And a standard form does not have your proportions.
Right.
It also does not have your posture. I noticed, can I talk a little bit about
Please
your
talk about my posture.
And this is very common. I mean, we have, hundreds and hundreds of scans, so
Yeah.
we look at this every day. But you definitely have a little bit of forward head and a little bit of roundness and some forward shoulders. And that's really challenging if you're using one of those we call them dial-forms.
Yeah.
Those, or if you use a standard form, it doesn't model this at all. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you make garments, they hang from the shoulders. So if you don't get this part right, the rest is going to start going wrong.
It's the shoulders is where all of the mannequin dressing falls to pieces, and where all that like form dressing falls to pieces. Because look, I brought this, and we'll put this on. I wanted to show people, like, this may not look like a fit adult, which is I am not. But like, this is my I feel fabulous going out tonight pair of jacket and shirt. And we're gonna put this on this because it's gonna look great.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about the fit, not necessarily about.
Yes. And by the way, this is what real people look like.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
So-
It's just weird to be next to your real person self.
I felt the exact same way. This is totally a normal experience, because just think about it. When in life do you get a chance to be with yourself physically?
Yeah.
Have you ever had that experience
Nope,
before?
actually,
you have.
I have.
You're unusual.
But that's when my friends at FBFX did a scan of me, and they carved it out of bead foam, and it arrived, and I put it on a stand, and I was like, oh, this is far out to be near my own weird posture and see the physical form. Yeah, it is peculiar. The best part about it is once you get past that, what you end up with is the ability to make costumes that look great on you.
That's right. So once you have it in your world for a little bit, you get used to it, and then it's a powerful tool.
Okay, so before we get too far on that, I want to talk about the technology itself.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the development of this scanning technology and how you guys take that scan and turn it into this?
Absolutely. So we start off, we have an app. It's an iPhone only right now, but what you do is you download our app, and then you have this, you have a partner. We have a particular position that you stand in, and your partner really just does four passes around your body, 360 degrees, and then for a form like this, we do two more scans or two more passes to capture the legs and the inside of the thighs. And then you upload that to our servers, and then it goes through a photogrammetry process, and what comes out is a 3D model. And then so I take that 3D model and I edit it And what results is what we sent you to approve.
Right.
And so at that point, you could ask us to, change things, maybe edit it a little bit more.
I will admit to you, in the very first season of MythBusters, when they did that, me and Jamie back to back spinning around, I did ask them to flatten my stomach just a little bit. But I wasn't going to ask for that here because it's got to fit me.
We don't like to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But so you get that 3D scan, and what I feel here is foam over some sort of solid core, perhaps, or not.
No, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you guys mill this out of open cell foam?
Yes. So it's a polyurethane foam, and one of the things I did was I wanted to machine it out of a single block of polyurethane foam, because what I didn't want to do is have planks that are glued together. I think it looks much better when it's just machined out of a single block of foam.
You couldn't also, wherever you're gluing planks together, you're getting it's going to be a different amount of sponginess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And exactly. And if you were to try to pin through that glue, then it may not. It might be harder to pin through. Go ahead.
Oh, why don't you talk about the machine?
Okay, so in order to support a single block of foam being machined, I had to build a custom CNC machine to do it. And so in my head, I was juggling a few variables, and one of the things that's really important is that we capture your posture as it is aligned to the floor you're standing on.
Right.
And
it's mounted the way you stand.
Yes, exactly. And so
you have to engineer in how it's going to interface with the solid parts long before you carve it out.
Right. So the actual product drove the design of the machine. And so my dad and I built a CNC machine in 2003. We built it together, and I had, it's followed me around San Francisco to Colorado.
It's part of why we're married.
Yes.
Amazing.
And
I was impressed with the machine. Wow.
And so one of the things I did was I had all these parts. We were on a tight budget to build the first prototype machine, and I built it to meet the design requirements of this. That machine, it became our production machine for 5 or 6 years before I upgraded to a new machine, which is a rotary machine with a couple of linear axes.
I was curious about that because a lot of CNC machines, you'd be milling one side and then you'd have to flip your thing.
Yeah.
You have the ability to actually mill the whole round?
Yes, yeah. And so at the time, the only machine that was on the market that supported this size, right, was like $100,000+, and we're like, that was way out of our price range. So it's like, maybe I can make this on $1,500, and so I did it, and so we found a foam distributor. They're in Colorado. They're just down the street from us, so it's all made out of a single block of foam, and the legs are.
The legs are separate, but that's because this is a prototype. You're one of the first to get one of these.
I'm the first to get legs.
Yeah, we're the first with the legs. We've been doing the upper body for a long time.
Yeah.
But eventually that'll be one piece too.
Yeah.
And then does your computer program spit out a pattern for making this really nice?
No.
There's a lot of
That's
art.
Allison's wizardry.
It's a lot of art.
There's a lot of hand fitting.
Yeah, we just, we edit the models by hand. And that does take some time, but we've been doing this a long time. So we've got it down to a science.
Yeah.
But it's really important that the surface is smooth.
Yeah.
So that you can drape on it and not have, like little things, bumps and things to have to work around.
And the arms being removable just makes everything better.
Yeah, it's really important. And I don't know how you would dress it without being able to take the arms off. And we made the decision, you'll have to let us know what you think of this, but there's no inner core.
Yes, I was curious about that.
Yeah, so you can dress it, you can pose. You can't pose it because it can't stay, but you can try out bending the arm.
Right,
in the sleeve.
I was toying with the idea of throwing some armature wire in there.
Go ahead, enjoy.
Also, I was curious about this little pip. Did you guys custom make this part?
No. So part of my design process is McMaster car.
Right.
Just like
this is a McMaster car solution?
Yes, yes.
Wow, because I was like, I haven't seen such a sharp shoulder joint before. I have dealt with a lot of mannequins and stuff, and it seems really nice and crisp. I'm amazed it's a McMaster car part.
It's I scoured the McMaster car catalog for the parts that work best for this, and it's gone through a few iterations. There was some super glue involved in the earlier versions, and this is like by far, I think, the best solution that we've gotten so far.
And what is the engineering for how you get screws to stick in foam? I mean, maybe
well,
that's proprietary and you don't want to...
No, there's nothing. It's not proprietary. So actually, there is for this one there is a stainless steel backing.
Okay.
With I welded on a piece of tubing and to the stainless steel backing. It's glued in with rubber cement, and then there's a wood backing that is on top of that, or it's sandwiched between this piece of stainless steel and that other piece of stainless steel.
So there's a bunch of infrastructure holding on many different axes in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it just gives it more strength and durability. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, because if you just had one plane, there'd be a shear force you could apply, but you've got multiple planes, so it's really going to be solid.
Yep.
And we want this to work for cosplay and your spacesuits and really heavy armor. I mean, this is how we built this to accommodate that.
Yeah.
All right, can we talk about pricing? This is a sort of this is like the mid-range Cadillac.
Is the mid-range.
The mid-range Cadillac. You guys can do all the way up to the feet and everything, a full form.
Full form,
but
yes.
that takes a tremendous amount of effort.
Yes, and the very first one took, over 40 hours to make.
Of actual hours.
Labor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hands-on. And a lot of people think that when we make these, we push a button, it comes out, right?
Right,
Because it's technology. You just push a button, it comes out. But that
Yeah.
is not what this is. This is actually a piece of art. I mean, it's you, but we have to hand edit the models. We hand cover them. There's all the machine time, the setup for machining. I mean, you have to produce the tool paths, and there's a lot of steps.
Well, and just to be clear, like when I go on eBay and look at old, like solid, nicely made dress forms that are in my size, and I have yet to find a natural 38, they're super expensive on eBay.
Yes.
These are old forms that people haven't made for a while.
Yeah.
Even the brand newest ones that are at that high level are an expensive bit of kit. And so I consider this like totally worthwhile investment to take your cosplay and your draping and your costuming seriously. And you guys have multiple levels though of entry on this.
That's right. So our original product, we call it the Beatrice Classic. It just is the bodice through the hip. It does not have bifurcation and it doesn't expose the crotch. And so that actually can get you really far. Retails for $15.99. And the thing is, we don't just make it for you, we coach you. So you get to spend 30 minutes with me and we come up with the best strategy to make the perfect silhouette for your practice. I mean, you and I talked about this when we got started. And so I help you with how you might want to pose.
But you were really lucky in that I have had a lot of experience with mannequins, and I love no knees. I love nothing below the knees because I find that much easier to see how the costume fits, and it's much easier to get it in and out of a costume.
True. Yeah, that's true. So that's sort of what goes into the price. So this is but the next step up from the Classic is the Plus. The Plus. And that has goes to just above the knee, and then you have the bifurcation. So now you could try on pants.
And then the arms are another add-on.
The arms are another add-on on top of that. So you can customize it to your budget and your needs. And we're makers ourselves. Right. We built this because I needed a custom form. I make all my own clothes.
You made this. You made the jumpsuit.
That's right.
I'm addicted to jumpsuits. I have a problem. And I can't buy ones that fit me because the torso length, as you know, is really important. Yeah. And I'm petite and short. They call it short-waisted. So I need it really short through here. So anyway, we built this. Nathan's so great. We happen to be a good team. He's got the mechanical, we both got the software, but I needed this for myself. So I care a lot about making this tool for other makers. Yeah. So we want to get as many people, this tool as we can. So we've priced it as low as we can and still stay in business. Yeah. And do it right. Right. Yeah. Because we want to make a high quality product.
I'm curious about some of the I'm curious about what you've heard from cosplayers about what this made possible for them.
Well, the first people who were doing costuming that we worked with were the historical costumers.
Oh, yes.
So it's kind of tangential, I would say, to the cosplay world, but the silhouettes for historical, because they wear the corsets and the different eras have different shapes.
I was told by somebody that the British naval uniforms of the Napoleonic era would literally pull your shoulders back. And a friend of mine told me that like Nelson wouldn't have been able to lift his arms above here.
Oh.
because of the restrictions in the code.
Oh.
That like it kept you in that military
Wow.
posture. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is the historical people, they live, eat, breathe, party in those outfits. And so
Right.
they cut the arm size really high so they can
so
lift
they
their
can-
arms. And in those times, that's actually what they did.
Oh.
And so I've actually taken some of those lessons, and that's why these arm sizes are very high for my jumpsuit. So I can
Fabulous.
raise my arms. So anyway, you can take that to
Yeah.
your practice as well. But yeah, so cosplayers, so we've been working with Beverly,
Mhm.
and she made this Totoro-inspired gown. And what's interesting about the cosplayers is they have a totally different approach to pattern making.
Really?
So it's not like the garment people. The
Yeah.
garment people want to take measurements, and they have this certain way that they do drafting that's very traditional. And cosplayers are like, screw that. I don't have all day long. And she puts saran wrap
yeah.
on the form, and then draws her pattern pieces, and then takes it off, and then makes the pattern pieces from that.
Oh wow.
And she did it with foil as well. So yeah, and it was very fitted because it was a
Beverly's
gown.
amazing.
She's so very cool. So yeah, so I can't wait to see what you all do because every maker's different.
What was really exciting to me was putting the Blade Runner coat on it and seeing it fit right. I had been working with it on another form. It looked okay. It looked better on me than the form. And finally there's a form that it looks just as good. And just having that one-to-one match makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, it's major. I just can't stress enough, like fit is style. And when you're doing cosplay, you're trying to get a visual. You're trying to get a silhouette. You're trying to get a drape.
Yeah.
You were talking about the back of that coat and how it lays. That is very difficult to do on your own body. How would you do the back?
Right. This is exactly. This might be what finally gets my Mandalorian costume across the line because there's so many parts and pieces to it, and it's so heavy. This is the only way you could drape that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Guys, this is it's so thrilling for me. One, just as a maker, you guys are solving a really specific problem, one that is near and dear to my heart. Also, aesthetically, it is a beautiful object in and of itself. As ego, as difficult as it might be for the ego, it is spectacular for the maker. And I love the nice thick base. I love just everything about it. It's a beautiful piece.
Well, I think that's one of our design requirements is that because it is so affecting when you open it, like when you're standing next to it, we wanted it to be beautiful. We wanted it to look good. So that when you take it out, like when you first open the box, like that experience of first opening the box and seeing it for the first time. And it's one of the perks of having the digital model because you're kind of exposed to it beforehand.
Right.
And so you have that initial reaction. And then when you open the box, it's just this beautiful handmade, version of you, but you're not shocked by it. Well, maybe not.
And I want you to be
totally shocked by
inspired. I want this to be your canvas.
Well, I cannot wait. Here, will you help me dress him?
Yeah.
Here,
Totally.
let's if you'll hold the jacket
Absolutely.
and let's get this shirt going.
So this is where the detachable arms come in handy.
Right? So the
I would put them in, Put it in and then it is a little grabby. It's sort of the nature of knit fabric, but it makes it easy to drape on. I can do this side.
So will you?
Got that? I can do this side.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the thing about dressing a mannequin is not like dressing a human.
It is so not like dressing a human.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Okay. got
Getting
this
that fit
one.
was a challenge. Another McMaster car find.
What is?
The distance, so the spacing between that button on the arm and that stainless steel plate was a little tricky to get right, but I found the perfect press fit spacer off of McMaster.
Oh, it's really great.
Until you have a 3D scan one, you don't realize this, but your body compresses. Your clothing is compressing you.
Yes.
Even if it's not a corset. So you can see this shirt,
Yeah.
you may want to have a little more room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I noticed that with my clothing
That's amazing.
because I got a little bigger.
right.
Yeah, and your jacket.
How
There
are
we
gonna do that
go.
one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So just for the fashion-oriented, the shirt is Brooklyn Taylor's, one of my favorite shirt makers, and the jacket
at
is
that.
Paul Smith.
That looks
so good.
Right? I knew this This would be exactly the thing. Yeah. And that's why I feel great when I wear this out.
Oh man, where are you
That
going?
This literally is my last minute. It turns out I have to be fancy combo, right? Like I know this will
Lovely.
always work no matter where I take it. And of course,
Whoever tailored this for you did a good job.
Now your mannequin's ready to go out.
well, so that's the thing. The Paul Smith cut is just right for my
Is this
form.
ready to wear, or did you
Yeah,
have?
this is ready to wear, and this is their non-wrinkling fabric. I have put this in a suitcase, and it requires almost nothing when you pull it
It's
out.
lovely.
That is amazing.
Dude, right? This is why I wanted to show this, because that's me. That's like,
Wow. Yes.
yeah, and it's like, you get to see the fit and all
And you
that.
know what's neat is after a while, so after doing this for a while,
Yeah.
I realized that you recognize people by their shape. So the first
25. I could tell someone by their shape
You know who
alone.
they were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you have this really fascinating bit of institutional knowledge.
Yes. Yeah.
And I realize that in our day-to-day lives, we do recognize people. Like, you know how you can recognize someone out of the corner of your eye walking past? So when we see this form, we think of you. We're like, oh my gosh, that's Adam.
I've also had someone recognize me by my gait.
Oh yeah, gait.
Right? They were like walking behind. They're like, "Oh, that's got to be him." Yeah. Dudes, it's really spectacular.
Oh, I'm
That
so
was a
glad you
thrilling
love it.
experiment to put the shirt and jacket
Oh,
on.
Was that the first time?
What? Yeah. I didn't
okay.
pre-do that. I just knew it
Oh,
would
wow.
work.
That is the first thing that people want to do. They open the box, they set it up, and then they put something
put
on
their
it. That
clothes
seems
on
to be
it.
what everyone does, like straight out of the box.
The costume I'm looking forward to putting on here is one that was made both for me, but also made before I got onto the scene, and it's a Doctor Strange costume, which is a ton of layers.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of layers.
And
yeah.
the layers are, it's hard to get those layering right because I can't make it thinner, but Doctor Strange is a very long, ideally that costume is a long form, and it hasn't looked quite right on me, and I'm dying to get it up on here and really get to see how it looks.
Yes, and then you can play with fabrics
Right.
and layer up and see what happens.
Yeah,
without
I can pull
sewing
and
it.
I can move. Yeah, exactly.
Without sewing it, like that is so key. And I've seen how you like to work. You're very work quickly.
Yeah.
And so you can just put fabric to form and see how it comes out.
I say to people about cosplay, if you're trying to explain cosplay to your grandmother, just point out that everyone in the world has a piece of clothing they feel great in when they go out. Cosplayers have just taken that to the next level. And I love seeing my favorite piece of clothing when I go out on the form. If you're thinking about getting serious about cosplay, or if you're wondering if this should be added to your kit, the answer is yeah. It is a mission critical tool for me for cosplay, and hopefully for you. Guys, this is such a beautiful invention and product.
Thank you so much for having us. This is amazing.
I wish you all the success. This is, I cannot wait to start poking holes in this and abusing it.
Yes. All right. So we have one more thing.
What?
Yes.
There's another thing?
Yes, there's one
Amazing.
more thing. So we also
No!
have a half-scale version.
You made a half-scale version of me.
50%.
Holy cow, no way. What? What? I'm so over the moon. No, that's crazy. Because I didn't even consider costuming in scale until Beverly opened my eyes to the possibilities.
But this is what your show was about a long time ago.
No,
You
I
did it.
know, I know.
You would
That's-
move up and up and up to full scale. So now you can start at 50% scale.
Dudes. Oh my God. I also have a weird penchant for small mannequins.
I know they're like dolls. They're so cute.
Wait, here's the thing I want to say. Wait, right there. I was just at a thrift store and they had miniature football armor and I bought it and my wife was like, why the hell do you want miniature football armor? And I'm like, why wouldn't I? It's so weird looking. So yeah, there you go. I literally have it over there to put on one of my small mannequins.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
I
that is
just
so
haven't
cute.
done it yet. That
Oh
is
my gosh.
spectacular. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Guys, this is That's I'm just like I'm so gobsmacked. Thank you.
Oh, we think that they're the cutest, and they're so fun. And you can use a quarter of the materials to
Yeah,
prototype.
it's a lot. It's
So,
really fast.
It's really fast. And
Beverly's been pioneering, or maybe not pioneering, but really doing some amazing work on our half scale.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the arms come off.
I see that. I see that. Oh my God, that's with the same thing.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
The mini
Yes.
version. Yeah.
And is this going to be a product you're going to release as well?
Well, we do sell half scales without the arms
Right.
and without the bifurcation, so no legs.
And that still allows you to do all
the
like
things I said.
85% of the serious
Yes.
patterning you need to do.
And once we already have your scan, it only costs us. We can do this for $300. Not
Amazing.
these with the arms,
Right,
so
right,
no
right.
arms
Understood.
and no legs, but still, that's what I use to prototype, and it's fantastic.
That's crazy
Yeah.
great. That's I didn't even know that there'd be this awesome coda to this. Amazing,
cute.
amazing. Okay,
Oh,
you guys are my heroes.
what
Thank
a
you.
pleasure! Thank you so much for inviting us here.
Thank you for watching that video. If you're anything like me, you were watching it wondering, Adam, how can I spend more time with my friends in the outdoors under improvisatory and impromptu conditions? And I would counsel you to go to adamsavage.com and buy yourself one of my bedrolls, which will allow you plenty of dry yet comfortable socializing on grass or any other place you find yourself. I've had one of these in the trunk of my car for 25 years. Okay, I haven't been making these for 25 years. It was somebody else's until I made my own. Okay, adamsavage.com. I'll see you there.